What is going on, Raptors Nation? Luca here, back with another video, and I wanted to react to ESPN dropping their predictions for every team in the Eastern Conference. And let's just say they don't have high hopes for the Raptors going into this 2023-2024 NBA season. Before we dive right into it, please do me a solid. Hit a like on the video. It does help a ton. And please subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content just like this. Okay, so I did a video the other day reacting to the Bleacher Report article that had the Raptors finishing 36-46. And now it looks like ESPN is sharing the same prediction as Bleacher Report, as they too have the Raptors finishing 36-46, which is good enough for 12th based on their prediction. So if you want to check out the full article, I'll link it down below. But basically, here are ESPN's projected standings for this upcoming season. They have the Celtics first, Bucks second, Cavs third, Sixers fourth, Heat fifth, Knicks sixth. And then the play-in group, they got the Hawks, Nets, and then the Pacers and Magic occupying those last two play-in spots at 9 and 10. Then they got the bottom five teams. The Bulls at 11th, Raptors 12th, Hornets 13th, Pistons 14th, and Wizards 15th. So they have the Raptors finishing in the bottom five of the East and essentially being a lottery team, one of the worst teams in the East, of course. So let's take a look to see what ESPN said about the Raptors finishing 12th based on their projections. The Raptors, for their part, seem to be on the downswing. After an up and down 41-41 season and a play-in loss to Chicago that resulted in the dismissal of longtime coach Nick Nurse, who directed the team to an NBA title in 2019. In the offseason, Toronto lost point guard Fred VanVleet in free agency and replaced him with Dennis Schroeder as the team continues to try to find an identity with three ball-dominant wings in OG Anunoby, Scottie Barnes, and Pascal Siakam. At a projected record of 36-46, it would be Toronto's second worst record since 2011-2012. Here's the thing. The Raptors are going to constantly be overlooked, written off this season. This is not going to be the first time the national media has the Raptors being a non-playoff or play-in team. And I get it. I can understand the point of view from some of these outlets because, of course, when you look at it from an outsider's perspective, the Raptors did lose an all-star in Fred VanVleet, got nothing for him. They didn't necessarily get better this offseason. They have still failed to address their overall direction. So there are a lot of question marks. I do think this season is going to come down to the Raptors' eternal growth. If the Raptors have that eternal growth that can come from being under a guy like Darko Rajakovic, then I can see them exceed expectations. If a guy like Gary Trent Jr. takes a leap, if he's indeed the starting shooting guard of this team, if OG Anunoby can take a leap and perhaps become a 20-point scorer and truly get his offense up, kind of like a guy like Mikal Bridges. And then Scottie Barnes, can he take a leap? And I think this season, not to pin it on one guy, I think it's going to come down essentially to if Scottie Barnes takes that third-year leap. Because if OG gets a little bit better, if Gary Trent Jr. gets a little bit better, and Scottie Barnes shows us the best Scottie Barnes yet in year 3, and he really takes the reins as being point Scottie, and he's able to run an offense, facilitate, gets better with a shooting ability, while Pascal Siakam has an all-NBA type of season, I think that'll be enough for the Raptors to win 40-plus games and get into the play-in tournament at the very least. So my point is, a lot of good things need to happen for the Raptors to get into the play-in. On the other side of things, I can see the Raptors season going south. If the offense doesn't improve, if things look stagnant, the flow of the starters doesn't mesh well, then the Raptors could unfortunately be on their way to a very long season. Now, ESPN, they are taking some chances here with their predictions because by them having Indiana and Orlando, you're basically betting on two teams who were behind the Raptors a season ago to take that leap. Also, you got to think a team that made the playoffs last season is going to regress. It happens every single season. So Atlanta, Brooklyn, maybe New York, one of these teams have to fall off. Like I said, it happens every year. The same playoff teams very rarely make it to the playoffs again the following season. So You can expect some drop-offs from certain teams. Again, they're banking on the Pacers and the Magic taking that leap. I do agree that the Pacers and Magic are going to take a leap, but am I willing to bet that they're both going to take a leap at the same time? I don't know about that just yet. So I personally think if things go right for the Raptors, if guys get better, player development really shows itself, the offense looks a lot better, those starters mesh well. And yeah, I definitely see the Raptors in that play-in group, that play-in equation. 7, 8, 9, 10. I can see them being a part of that because I am higher on the Raptors than the media pundits. I don't think this team is going to be downright terrible. I can see them being just as good as last season. But the key is going to be if some of those players I mentioned take a step forward, especially Scotty Barnes. I think he is the absolute key to the Raptors having success this season. And if he and Pascal Siakam in particular can gel nicely and show people that they can, in fact, coexist. If that all happens, I can see the Raptors definitely being in the playing group. But of course, worst case scenario, ESPN's prediction might come to fruition. So yeah, ESPN has the Raptors finishing 12th. Bleacher Report has the Raptors finishing 12th. Where do you see the Raptors finishing in the Eastern Conference? I still do see the Raptors being a part of that play-in equation. And look, it's going to be tough. I get it. The Eastern Conference is very tough. And maybe no team falls off. Maybe this is one of those years where literally playoff teams from a year ago don't fall off and they get better. And then you have those teams who were worse last season get better. If that happens, the Raptors are going to be in a world of trouble in terms of trying to get into the play-in, let alone the playoffs. So we'll see how this all plays out. Raptors Nation, what is your prediction for the Raptors 2023-2024 season? How do you see them finishing? Where do you see them finishing in the Eastern Conference? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit a like and subscribe on your way out. This is Lucas signing off. And until next time, stay safe.